in support of the locals, and that's the most important part, that we're here to help you with your needs. And as the mayor and others mentioned earlier, as we visit today and in the future, please speak up and let us know how we can help you, because until you do that, we just don't know.
Thank you, Drew. And last but definitely not least, we have Princess Carol Falconberry. This little inside joke, she told me, is it okay if I asked if I could use first names, and she's like, I want to be Princess.
Moving forward.
Just following directions.
Thank you. I'm Carol Falconberry, and I'm the regional representative for Texas Department of Ag. There's 10 on my team that cover all 254 counties. So we are here to represent and help and assist with ag business and those in production of some sort of niche of which we can assist with. And I cover 24 counties. 11 of them are in the governor's list of disasters. So we know a little bit about what's going on, and I too personally live in a county and have been affected by this as well. So hope that we are here to help. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. And I'm actually going to start with you with our first set of questions.
Of course you are.
We go way back, don't we? We'll probably get that. So what is the STAR Fund, which is that agriculture program for disasters?
So the STAR Fund is the State of Texas Agriculture Relief Fund. So it is, the STAR Fund was created solely with monetary donations from private individuals and entities and companies to fund disaster recovery efforts for ag operations. And the STAR Fund is money that is used to assist impacted farmers, ranchers, agribusiness owners in rebuilding fences and restoring operation and paying for other agricultural risk reliefs. Wildlife is included. Per the commissioner last week, he wanted to purposely add wildlife operations, especially because of Kerr County.
Wonderful. And who can apply again?
Again, all ag producers. I want to go in to make sure that this grant fills in the gaps, basically trying to assist with USDA and NRCS and FSA. So this is a maximum of $10,000 after that you apply for to get 80%. So to get an $8,000 grant, and this we're accepting funds up until November 30th. And so there's an application on our website, and anyone in ag production, vineyards, any wildlife as well.
Thank you so much, Carol. I'm going to move to you, Andrew, with another program. So talk to us a little bit about the ISTAT, the Individual State of Texas Assessment Tool, and its purpose.
Yes, sir. You know, the ISTAT tool is very important because it's the mechanism that TDM uses to understand damages that you as a citizen or maybe your neighbors have experienced, and it helps us have real-time comprehensive detail of what's going on. And how that translates directly to y'all in the community is that it lets us know what resources you might need and what services we can get to you. So I think that's why it's critically important. It also, at a larger level, allows us to identify the resources that we might need to ask other federal partners and agencies for to help bring resources directly to your communities. And as we do that, I want you to know that it's important that it's a voluntary thing that you as individuals can do, and that it does not replace your insurance. So you definitely still need to make sure you're taking care of that. And there are two resources I want to tell you about related to the ISTAT tool. One of them is online. It tells you how to do it. If you don't retain this address I'm about to give you, we'll be here at the table and can tell you about it in just a second. But it's damages.tnm.texas.gov. And then, again, at our table, we can help you know what that is. So we'll be here to help you understand how it works and how to fill it out so that you can maximize the resources that you're entitled to.
Yeah, so with that ISTAT, it's basically a way for the public to give that information to TDM so that we, at the state level, can know effectively what the damage is and can react appropriately, correct?
Yes, sir. It's a tool that drives a lot of what we do.
Wonderful. So now we've heard about the STAR program with TDA, the iStat tool with TDM, and so that leads me to you, Yvette. What is some programs that the SBA has? What kind of assistance is available?
So we have a few different types of assistance. I'm going to start with homeowners and renters. So for homeowners, up to $500,000 for any physical damage that your property has sustained, and up to $100,000 for your personal property. For our renters, of course, up to $100,000, again, to repair or replace your personal property. The deadline to apply for that physical damage is the 4th of September. So we want to stress the importance of doing it. You can do it from the privacy of your home, on your computer. You can visit one of the recovery centers that we're with the state and of course with FEMA partners there. We can fill out the applications. Again, my two friends over here on the side who will do them for you right here. For businesses, a little bit different. We have two different types. For physical damage, of course, if your property was damaged, we want you to come in by the 4th and apply. But then we also have working capital loans. So economic injury disaster loans. We want to make sure we're keeping the business in business. We know you still have fixed that. You have to keep the lights on, even if you are not currently open for business. So we want to go ahead and look to see how we can assist you with those types of funds. Additional to that, we have mitigation. So if you are approved for an SBA loan, we can increase your loan by 20% to assist with mitigating that damage or any other damage. So to prevent loss of property and or life. So that would include a safe room, if that was something that you were considering doing. These loans are low interest rate. We know it's a disaster. To qualify, you have to be in a disaster area. That's what a property must be. You have to have credit that's acceptable to SBA. There's not a number in particular we're looking for. We're going to look at your entire financial picture before making a determination. And then you have to have the ability to repay because it is a loan. So we understand that a lot of people are still working with the insurance. They have not quite settled. SBA may be a tool that we can use to get you those funds prior to you settling with your insurance. So it is a program that we want to make sure everyone is aware of. For everyone involved in the counties that have been declared, for businesses in those counties that are adjacent or touching the primary county, they also are eligible. Their business may have changed due to the event, and they may also be suffering at this time. So we want to make sure that they're aware. So there are multiple counties. If you are adjacent or touching one of those primary counties, you also may be eligible for the EIDL loan program. So we want to make sure that we spread this word. The deadline for the physical damage is so quickly approaching. It seemed like I just got here, but we've been here for quite a while, and we want to make sure that you take advantage of this program. You do not have to accept this loan. If we offer it to you, you do not have to accept it. If the loan is under $50,000, there's no collateral that needs to be pledged. So there are a lot of benefits to having these loans. We want to just have the opportunity to talk to you about it individually at our centers or even here. We have the time to talk to anyone who has interest in the SBA program.
Thank you, Yvette. And I got to throw it out here that all three of these people, myself included, all four of us, we're all government employees, meaning that we're not for-profit companies or anything trying to solicit or make a sell on any small business or homeowner, whatever it may be. We're here to serve, quite literally to serve you, as constituents of Texas. So definitely it's worth having a relationship with, in this case, the SBA, whether it's within a disaster or outside of it. I'm also glad that you mentioned that it was, the programs are eligible for both business owners as well as those homeowners aspect as well.
Absolutely, and a lot of the loans that we make will be to homeowners, but we do not want any business left behind without the information available to them. So whatever we can do, however we can get that information to you, we're more than happy to. We have several people within the communities who are doing outreach and speaking to them. But if there's something in particular, my contact information will be made available to all of you. I'll make sure that you have, and you can contact me directly. I'd be happy to answer the questions and point you in the right direction.
I'm going to stick with you, Yvette, for this next question. So what are some of the benefits from applying for an SBA program?
So the first benefit, of course, is that there is no loan payment for the first 12 months. It doesn't accrue interest. So if all you needed it was for 12 months, this may be an option. If you're still speaking with the insurance, that's an option. In addition to that, the interest is low. So it is a disaster loan. It is meant to help. We are not, you can go through the entire process and decide at the last minute, even after you're approved, I really don't want to take this loan. It's okay. You guide your loan. You decide what you want to do, what you don't want to do. If you want to increase the loan, you want to decrease the loan. You guide your loan. That's the most important part. You're in control of the entire process. Now, it is a loan. There is some paperwork that needs to be filled out. But we want to work towards getting you approved, and then you make a determination whether this is what you really want. It's a loan, and nobody likes that word. We understand that. But sometimes we need it just to get over until we can come back to the stability that we are prior to the disaster happening.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm going to go back to you, Drew, with another question. So how does TDM help small businesses impacted by disasters such as the recent flood?
I think the way we help the most is, Mr. Brewer, is that we connect people with the resources that they need. So perhaps by directing people to disaster recovery centers, they can come in and they can speak with someone from FEMA, someone from the SBA like I've been here, and they can really just sit down and talk to us about, what your family is going through, what you need, how we can help you, what resources do you need, and then with partners from all levels of government and voluntary agencies, we just let you know what's available and we can seek to request what's out there. There's 2 physical locations in the Kerrville area, and they'll be here. And the important thing to know is TDM is here for you, and we're not going anywhere until we're done.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir. Thank you to everyone from TDM. I know you have a team here. I saw them at the table earlier, so thank you for all. You all have been busy since July 4th, and so thank you. I just want to throw that out there. Moving forward to you, Carol. So we heard about there's deadlines for the SBA program, which you said September 4th, correct?
For physical damage, for working capital loans or our economic injury disaster loans, it will be April 6th of next year, and that's because you may not know your impact right now.
Wonderful. Carol, could you reiterate those deadlines related to the start?
Sure, as far as the STAR fund, the application is due by November 30th. However, if you're already in recovery, you have until next year to fully submit the request for payment on the pre-approval of the application and the repair work being completed. Or even if it hasn't started, we're not as insurance where you have to go out and see it before we give you the money. So it's one of those, if you've already started cleaning up and you're needing assistance, please still go ahead and apply. Part of what I wanted to add also, Jarvis, is we have our agri-stress hotline, and we also have our hay and feed hotline. And we also, in covering this grant, it's for fencing supplies, it's for disposal fees, it's for livestock replacement, it's for labor, for the debris removal. So things that are maybe just on the edges of some of the other things that are more direct, this kind of picks up those fringes.
Thank you. I don't think a lot of people have thought about TDA as assisting in those areas such as debris removal and those other things that you mentioned. So I'm sure you have the information regarding those hotlines.
I do, yes. Come over to the table. I've got all of that now.
Perfect, perfect. TDA is right here on the left, so definitely interact with Carol. I'm going to stick with you for another question, Carol. Is TDA already distributing funds?
They are already, we've already got quite a few applications, and they're already trying to move forward in the evaluations of all of those, all of the grants. All of the applications are starting to be evaluated, and we're wanting to take in more.
Thank you so much. I'm going to jump to you, Drew, once again. So we were just talking about cleanup and debris removal. Can you describe the current status of the debris cleanup in the area and what's been happening in the communities impacted by the recent floods?
Absolutely, debris on all of our minds, right, and getting it cleaned up. I can tell you that it remains the biggest priority among the top priorities that we have here to do, and we continue our recovery efforts every day. To date, we've picked up over 600 cubic yards of debris, which is a really nice amount. And we continue to do more each and every day, every hour. The debris process is coordinated between local, state, and contracted partners, and the work will continue to be done, and our teams will continue to clear that debris until it's done. We're doing debris on public right-of-ways, we're doing private property debris removal, and we're in the waterway as well. Important to your community, I think, is that if you have debris on your property, please know that there's a method to pick up private property debris. And if you have a question about that, if you'll come over to the table, we'll be very happy to talk to you.
Thank you so much, Drew. I'm going to kind of shift away from the questions we kind of discussed earlier, and I really have a question for you, Yvette, because I know I spoke with Dylan before about the disaster declaration process, and I was enlightened about how many entities it can go through from the SBA and FEMA. Can you talk a little bit about the disaster declaration process as far as there can be an SBA declared disaster, which can be different from a TDEM declared disaster, which can be different from a FEMA declared disaster?
Sure, no problem. So we are here at the request of the governor. Okay, so we're invited by the state at the beginning of the process. Some things are immediate, so there is a category where everything is immediate. There is no PDAs, preliminary damage assessments done. It's granted the president certifies this as a declaration. Then there are, that of course will activate FEMA, SBA will be activated with them. And of course with the state, with TDEM, which we work very closely together, they identify places where we will be jointly providing information and assistance to the survivors. Then there are agency declarations. That means it did not meet the threshold for a FEMA declaration. So it did not meet the presidential standards for a declaration. It's an agency. It's a lower number, 25 businesses have to be impacted or homes. And then our SBA administrator will declare that declaration. It's usually smaller. We will come in, it will be SBA only, of course with the supporting TDEM, because they again are the ones through the governor's office that make those requests. There will be rural declarations, an area that's rural that may have been impacted. So for that, again, it would be SBA only. It would not be jointly with our FEMA partners. But again, at the request of the state and with the support of the state. There are economic injury disaster loans. It's just EIDL. An example, so that you have an idea, would be the Maryland Bridge collapse. That was not, it did not meet the presidential level of a declaration. It was an SBA agency, economic injury disaster loan only. And so we were there again at the request of the governor with the support of the state emergency management. And we will make these loans, low interest rate loans, available to those impacted in those areas. So those are a few of the different types of disaster loans or programs that we actually execute out in the field. In addition to our district office, so every state has a district office. Texas is super lucky to have multiple district offices, yes. And they are there to support you in other business ventures. The SBDCs, who are our resource partners, they are also there to assist you with any help you may need from them. Maybe it's gathering paperwork, maybe it's writing a business plan. So things like that, we have our resource partners in our district office who are super active. And during a time of disaster like now, we join forces with them and we want to make sure we're talking to everyone. So if you had a question possibly about starting a business, or you wanted to speak about contracting with the government, I'm lucky because my district director from San Antonio is here with me today, and I'm sure he would love to take some questions from you. But so there are different types of SBA declarations and then assistance available for your loan. And we are here as guests. We will eventually leave the state of Texas. Well, I live here, so I won't be leaving, but some of our workers will be leaving back to their homes, and our district office is going to be a point of reference. They're a great group that have all kinds of business services available, so I encourage you to reach out to them also. Even when it's not a disaster, their office is actually really good about getting you into the right classes, the right programs, so that your business can be successful.
Absolutely, and I just now saw David Elizondo in the back. I see you, sir. He represents the San Antonio district office, which covers this area. So here in Texas, we have 6 SBA district offices, and San Antonio, led by that gentleman in the back, is your representative. Thank you, Brian. So outside of disasters, it is instrumental that you have a great working relationship with your SBA as a small business owner. Also, as mentioned, Yvette mentioned, the SBDCs, the Small Business Development Centers. There's one out of the UTSA. Trying to think of where I'm at now. We have what SBDC is here today? It is the UTSA. Okay, so they're here to have a table as well. Definitely work all of the information and help that you can have outside of disaster-specific information. We are at the 10-minute warning at the end of this panel, and I do want to open it now for the audience to ask some questions. So there are a couple of members of our small business team who will be, I see a couple hands here.
Hi, my name is Lorena Guillen. I'm the owner of Blue Oak RV Park, 100% total loss. Howdy's restaurant, we had several damage, but we were lucky that we were able to reopen. And we also have Io Construction, that all our entire equipment, inventory, tools got washed away. I have 3 loans applications with the SBA, and absolutely fantastic, very, very well educated people that I have dealt with. They have given me all the information that I needed, but I do have a problem. My question is, I bought my property about 3.5 years ago. Obviously, I have a mortgage. My property devaluated 60% according to the official district. So I have a first lien loan on my property. So if I get a $2 million loan from the SBA, which I'm applying for because of the laws, am I going to have to give up my first lien with my current mortgage holder? And 2, why are we paying 4 to 8% interest when my current mortgage loan is at 3.75? So that means I'm getting 2 mortgages now. And my reconstruction time, say about a year, by the time I get more people in, 2 years. So I know I'm going to have a minimum 1-year payments up to mortgages. How am I going to afford that?
Okay.
That is, and I have another question for him after this one.
Okay, let me take the first part of your question. So the SBA can take second or third place lien onto your property. Okay, so that shouldn't be a problem. Again, that first year, once you're approved, you got through the whole process, there'll be no loan payment and there'll be no interest accrued.